Hello and happy Aquarius New Moon. I've got a pick a card reading, which quite honestly all corresponded to the themes of an Aquarius New Moon, which are trying things differently and having allowing for a complete and total fresh start and new beginning. The Capricorn season and the Capricorn new moon helped us really explore like what the root of our goals are, what the root and the foundation from which we can stand on for the entirety of 2024. And now Aquarius is bringing in new fresh ideas to help us accomplish those things. And then the Pisces moon is going to cleanse and release that old way of being so that on the Aries new moon in spring, we can all take action on these things. So, again, the Aquarius new moon is about coming up with new ideas of how to do things. We've got so many planets in Aquarius right now. The sun is in Aquarius, the moon is in Aquarius, Pluto is in Aquarius, Mercury is in Aquarius. Mars and Venus are moving into Aquarius next week. So, this is new ways of loving, new ways of taking action, new ways of speaking and communicating, new ways of thinking and dreaming and transforming and evolving and growing. So, if you feel drawn to any particular card, we've got group one, group two, and group three. You'll find the timestamps in the description below. They will help you gain some insight into what's going on for you right now and also what you should be setting your intentions around for this Aquarius new moon cycle. If you're interested in a private reading, check out all the links in the description below. You can purchase readings on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. We've got links to the Just a Phase Moon Planner down there. We've got links to the beautiful tarot cards that we were using today, and lots of ways to connect and hang out within the Wonderland community. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for taking time out in Wonderland today. And I can't wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again. Hello, group one. Welcome to your new moon in Aquarius pick a card reading. Our first card here is the Knight of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Sun in reverse. So, the feeling that I was getting with this reading immediately is like I feel like you're kind of running out of steam. Like you just or running on fumes. There's a lot of air energy here, and there's hardly any fire. There's this lack of passion, lack of enthusiasm, and kind of like boredom. With the Knight of Swords, like he runs towards like he's got this idea and rushes into something, um, kind of not thinking about the practicality of things. It's just like you get this idea and you just rush into it and you jump into it. And I think you're like, it feels like you're having second thoughts or doubts about this thing now that you're like in it. And it is manageable with the Two of Pentacles here. You're managing things, but the enthusiasm and the happiness is not there for you. Maybe you like thought that this was going to bring you happiness, but it's not. So this is like my grumpinator card is what I call it when the sun is in reverse. It's just like you're bored, everything bothers you, you're not happy. It's just kind of like meh feeling. And I think setting intentions around finding that spark and finding that passion and doing things that make you happy is going to be really important for you, um, for this moon cycle. A lot of the oracle cards that came up, beloved, radical acceptance, are fiery. So I think that's like what you're needing. You're needing some fire, passion, inspiration in your life. Lost in space, needing direction, and heart home compassion. So, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. So, I guess here, like I was saying, oh, and the other thing is twos. Two, this one is a two. We have the two of swords and the two of pentacles back here. So if twos are significant to you, or I think maybe it'd be a good idea for you to look up 222 angel number, or just look up the numerology of twos, because that was really jumping out at me. Even in like there's a 27, that's another two. Did we have another one? Yeah, we have another one that's 42. So just lots of twos popping up here. And I'm just going to read really quick from here. Not the whole thing, just part of it. When beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. So I feel like you're maybe kind of all in your mind because we have a lot of sword energy here. And it's like you need to like bring it down from the head down to the heart. And even the root too. I was feeling like a need to get grounded and centered, and then you could like start running with your heart instead of just all in your head. The beloved may not be a person at all. It might be a business venture, a project, or an adventure calling for your full attention. Love it, let it light you up, and give it your all. Surrender to this truth and know that you are gaining a passport to bliss, even when it feels that you are being consumed by the fire of the beloved. So there was just something is like you want to feel inspired and you want to feel passionate, but also I feel like something is calling you. Um, but you're feeling kind of lost and like needing direction, and that's interesting because we also have the two of swords is represented in the told you would in the Alice in Wonderland story, which is if you remember, Alice gets lost in the woods because there's all these signs that are say like this way, that way, and they don't really make any sense. And like signs are supposed to like tell you something, like give you direction and help you figure out where you're going. But I feel like maybe you're noticing the signs and you're like, but they don't make sense. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And it's really for you, like, we have these two fiery hearts here, like, coming back to yourself, coming back to your heart is going to be really significant for you when you're setting your intentions for this new moon. I think there were a couple other phrases that jumped out. The heart home. When you begin to feel like you do not belong anywhere, it's time to make your way back to your heart home. This is your true home. You are being called back to the quiet place where your soul resides. Put everything on hold for a short while. You are being offered the experience of love in the purest form, unconditional and unbounded. So I was feeling like a lot of this love energy, heart energy coming back to center is meant to be like a healing time for you. And I think maybe that's why you've been like rushing into things and jumping into things and keeping your mind busy, keeping yourself busy so that you're not focusing on the things that are hurting you. And this is like creating a blockage of like happiness. Like this is why you're bored because you've been like avoiding how you've been feeling for a long time. And then the lost in space. Sometimes in life we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to addictive behaviors, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. This happens especially when we are up leveling and genuinely changing for the better. As a part of us, hiding in the vast expanseness of space wants to sabotage our progress. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable as we find that our thoughts and beliefs have morphed beyond recognition. You may find yourself adrift in this way right now, unable to focus or determine the next step. You might be tired or simply need to regroup and rest. When you lack direction, the first thing to do is redirect your perspective of time. So, you have this just great need to find direction, and I think part of that is because you like to stay busy, you like to keep your mind occupied, but this when the moon is dark, I think you're gonna really sit down and journal for a little bit. Get all of your feelings out because I think you've been avoiding them. And I think once you like clear all that energy, once you heal at least a little bit, I mean, healing takes a long time. So bringing awareness and attention to something is just one step on that healing journey. It's one stepping stone. And you just like slowly chisel away at these things until they're not blocking you anymore and they don't bother you anymore and you're not being triggered and you're not wanting to avoid because there's a lot of avoidance here, but the avoidance is also preventing you from being happy because happiness is an emotion. If you're not allowing yourself to feel the bad, you're also not experiencing the good. The horse king, assistance and control, and the lady of lightning, surprises sometimes shock and total paradigm shift. So the horse king, like this horse is literally like bowing down to help you and to take some of the weight off, to take like he's like, "Hey, let me carry you the rest of the journey." So there feels like maybe like all of these tasks that you've been busying yourself with, I think you're able to delegate that for a while so that you're able to take time to just play and be happy. The Horse King always comes to lend you the power to go the distance, forging ahead whatever the weather. So I feel like you need to delegate some things, even if that's like asking your spirit team to help bring awareness to this thing that you need to heal or help you navigate it, help you heal this thing that's blocking you or ask them to help you come into center to get into that meditative space. Maybe you can't, maybe you're struggling to like really drop into a meditation so that you're able to like connect with spirit and connect with your inner self. Like you can ask your spirit team to help you with those things. As an ally, the Lady of Lightning brings powerful forces of change into your life. She tells you to expect a sudden shift in your circumstances. Perhaps a situation you weren't anticipating arises and offers you the opportunity of a lifetime or a series of aha moments. And the aha moments was making me think like I think you're seeing the signs like with this told you woods card and the lost in space. Like I think you're seeing the signs, but you're like, what does it mean? Where am I supposed to go? Like, hello, I see you. Like show me the way. Um There was another part of this. So be prepared, change is imminent and a total paradigm shift may be upon you. Like when we feel resistance to change, that means we're like almost there. We're like almost over that hump and then it's like downhill from there. Don't resist the changes as this kind of lightning isn't something you want to fight. Great things are happening when the Lady of Lightning appears. Like these are this like and was feeling when I pulled the first card that I pulled, the Knight of Swords, I was feeling like you had this idea and like this inspiration, this like light bulb went off or lightning, and you were like really excited about it and you jumped into it, but now you're hesitating and maybe you've just lost enthusiasm and you're like refusing to make a decision. even though it's like working out, I feel like, I don't know, maybe you jumped into this thing and you're feeling like now that you're in it, you're like, "Oh gosh, I don't know what to do now." It was like in the beginning, there was like that fire and that inspiration and that light bulb of an idea. And now you're like, okay, well, now what? Like there is balance. You're managing and maintaining, but I think you do need to like delegate tasks to things or reorganize and itemize things so that you're not like, I've had to like restructure. It's taken me a really long time to figure out how to restructure like managing like my online community work and my massage business, like my in-person work. And then I have temp jobs too. And they're just they're such different. It's like I need to put my like muscle on for the temp jobs because there's a lot of, it's like standing on your feet. It's a lot of physical activity, heavy lifting. And so I'm like, that wears me out, and then I'm not able to do massages because I'm so tired. And then because I'm so tired, I'm sleeping more and I'm not getting the computer work done that I need for to film videos and edit videos because that's so time consuming. So I've had to figure out how to manage like, okay, like I figured out I had to take a day off after the physical job, the because it wasn't fair to my massage clients if I'm, like, feeling like I just ran a marathon and then doing a massage, like, it's not fair to them, and then I'm just, like, not editing videos and not putting out quality content and all that, so, like, I just have to try these different things to see what makes it work, to have this Two of Pentacles energy of, like, juggling and balancing and, like, maintaining that balance. And I've had to just, like, really restructure, and I've been like, "Okay, like, I have to take a day off for filming and content, and then I have to take a day off from, like, any physical work before I do massages," and I've just had to manage my time so that but I work really well like that, like, I don't think, I know that probably wouldn't work for everybody, like, I can spend 12 hours filming, editing, making content, like, that's no problem, whereas I think maybe somebody else might need to do, like, an hour here, couple hours there, like, throughout the week, and I was trying to do that, but I just have trouble, like, switching my editing, filming brain into my massage brain, like, if I have massages, like, that's all I can do that day because I'm in this completely different headspace and physical space in order to facilitate and hold space for clients. Like I try, even if I have like one appointment, one massage appointment, and then I'm like, oh, I can spend the rest of the day editing. Like it doesn't work. It's not productive because I'm just in this like massage headspace. So I have to, I've learned that like my massage days are also my housekeeping days, so that's when I do laundry and vacuum. I think setting intentions around, like, restructuring and reorganizing your life so that it works for you and so that it's making you happy, because you were excited about this light bulb of an idea, like, you wanna do this, but you just have to figure out how it's going to fit into your life and make sure that you are having fun time. You're having I've learned to have to do this too of like I have to take time off to do nothing. Cuz even if I'm not working at a temp job or even if I'm not editing videos and even if I'm not doing massage appointments, I'm still thinking about the business and figuring out what to do next. And that's not time off, you know? So like you have to take time to watch a movie or go visit with friends or do something like color or create or do something that, play a video game, like do something that like is really off time. It's not work time. Especially if you're in a situation where what you do for work is something that you're passionate about. Like, I love filming tarot readings. I love doing tarot readings, but it's work for me now. So, you have to find the things that like give you joy, pleasure, and happiness and find that spark of inspiration to keep you going. And for sure delegate. Did I say everything? So, this new moon is very significant for you to set intentions. Like, I don't know if maybe this is a group of Aquarius dominant birth chart people, whether that's like your sun, moon, and rising is Aquarius, or if you just have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, or if Aquarius makes a significant aspect to something in your chart. Um, this new moon is like really significant for like, I mean, think of Aquarius is finding new ways of doing things, approaching things in a different way. And we also have a lot of other planets in Aquarius right now too. Or actually starting next week, Mercury goes into Aquarius. Mars goes into Aquarius. I think Mercury's already in Aquarius. And then Venus goes into Aquarius and Pluto's in Aquarius. So we have all of this Aquarius energy, which is helping us figure out new ways of doing things, new ways of living in the world, new ways of living our lives, new ways of approaching things, new ways of like new ideas, out of the box thinking. So I think those of you that chose this group, and I'm feeling like a lot of like urgency with this reading. Like there's this urgency, and it feels like you're like, oh, well, I can't put anything down. I can't stop and take a break. I can't have fun because I have to do all of these other things. And that's burning you out, wearing you down. And that's why you're not interested in the work anymore. You're not happy. Like, I'm trying to remind myself to breathe. So I don't know if like breath work is going to be good for you. Like, I feel out of breath because I feel like I need to get this message out and I need to get it over with. And there's just this huge urgency. And I keep looking at the Knight of Swords of like he rushes. He's moving too quickly that he's like missing it. He's missing the signs. He's missing the experience of it, missing the journey. You're not seeing anything when you're moving too quickly. Oh my gosh, let me read this. So, this new moon is very significant for you to set intentions. Make the plan, delegate the actions, whether that's delegating it to your spirit team, delegating it to people, delegating some chores in your house so that someone can help you out. Um, Delegate the actions. Take time to find your passion again. What lights your fire? And then learn what ignites your fire and then ignite it. And that's all I have to say because I think if I try to talk anymore, I'm going to pass out because I've I think those of you that chose this group like really need to like stop and breathe and pay attention to your breath. Are you breathing with your belly or are you breathing only up in your chest? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like these short, quick breaths that aren't truly like deep belly breaths. They're not truly oxygenating your system. Like, bring that breath down, and that I think that, like, bring that breath down into your heart and bring that breath down into your root. Slow down. Okay, thank you so much. If you would like a private reading, please check out my website, priestessofwonderland.com. And there's tons of links in the description box below if you're interested in any of these decks. If you're interested in a private reading, if you're interested in the Just a Phase Moon Planner, there's lots of information down there for you. And I appreciate you so much. Happy new moon in Aquarius. Let's all take a deep breath and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your reading for the new moon in Aquarius of 2024. Still feels weird to say 2024 for me. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse for you. And we also have the World upright. The King of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Whoops. Three of Pentacles in reverse as well. So, gosh, having the reverse Wheel of Fortune with the World was so crazy to me. It's like you've completed this huge, significant cycle, but nothing's working out for you right now. And I think the reasoning for that is that just you're at this point in your journey where you have to be okay with the emptiness. Like you just overcame this difficult situation and combated all of these obstacles. And I think you're like trying desperately to like fill that space up again. But right now you're meant to be like okay with the emptiness. I feel like you're being like stripped down of everything. All your masks are coming off and it's about coming down to the core of yourself of who you truly are before moving forward. Like there has to be this like pause at the end of a cycle and I feel like you're trying to like force something to work that's not working. Like you're okay, but you need to be like the King of Pentacles, like grounded, stable and wise because of the obstacles that he's overcome. And the Three of Pentacles in reverse is like not learning your lesson. So the messages that I got were I feel like you have completed like a big cycle, but things aren't working out for you because you're still trying to do things the old way. Like you did this thing, you overcame this obstacle, but yet you're still approaching the new things as the old you or doing it the way the old you would do it. And it's a like this is a new cycle. You've completed one cycle, now you're starting a new one and you need to like uh do it differently, which this is a perfect new moon to be setting intentions around because an Aquarius new moon is all about setting intentions around doing something differently, learning out of the box ways of approaching our goals and doing things differently. I don't know how many times I can say it. Um, take what you've learned. You're still trying to do things the old way. Take what you've learned and forge a new path. So we have whoops, hollow bone, teachability. So like this cycle that you've been through was like a huge lesson, but I think like you haven't quite grasped it yet. Empty well, time to replenish, and horseman, herald of change. I'm going to read brief messages from these cards, but not the whole thing because they're pretty like screaming. Like hollow bone is about being emptiness, allowing like when you look at a bone, like it is hollow on the inside and all the marrow like flows within it. And being a hollow bone is about like being open and receptive to receiving messages from spirit about like what you should do next, but you have to be empty to hear the messages, to feel the messages and to see the messages. And the empty well is about like again going to down to the bare bones of who you are and again stripping away all of those masks and reinventing yourself, being this new person. Like don't fill it back up with the old BS. So I want to read these two messages first. So the empty well reveals that there is nothing for you here. The well is dry and the desert is encroaching on your once fertile garden. It is time to face this harsh reality and move on. Give gratitude and thanks for the abundance you have experienced and let spirit guide you to your next destination. This might mean saying goodbye to someone or something or insisting on changing the rules of the game. Stop diminishing yourself for the sake of another. Making yourself small will not produce the results you want. Empty well tells you that it is time to reclaim what is yours and return what does not belong to you. Receive the empty well as a gift. Do not exert your energy or waste your resources by repairing the walls or mending the rope. You like we're moving on from this old thing. We're not doing things that way anymore. We're doing new things now. The hollow wing bone of an eagle is a flute for the shamans. The appearance of the hollow bone invites you to become empty of your notions of who you are, to check your ego at the door, and to know that this is not about you. Relinquish your need to be right and to express an opinion, as this will not change anything right now. You are being called to practice humility. Hollow yourself out and hear the wind blow through you and play you like a flute. You will learn the language of the squall and the storm and understand the message of the summer breeze. And then the horseman is about celebrating what you've accomplished. I think like you've neglected that. There is this like there's this point. Oh, I guess I wrote this down. So you might be at that point of coming out of a difficult time or the close of a cycle where you don't see the lesson yet, but you're just kind of like, "Whoa, that was a lot." Like that was a struggle. That was real. Like that was hard. That was difficult. And the horseman is asking you to like celebrate that accomplishment. That was a big thing that you overcame. A really big thing. And you need to take this time and maybe this entire moon cycle to like integrate that change, to like so that you're coming out of this empty well, like totally refreshed and time to replenish and replenished. And I think like you're at that point where you're not seeing the lesson yet, especially with this reverse 3 of pentacles. Like you you're just at the point at the end of a cycle where you're just like, you don't know what hit you. You're just like, "What?" And the more time that you let it integrate and sink in, you're gonna be able to look back on it and be like, "Oh, I understand why I went through that." Like, you're gonna see the lessons, and teachability is, another word here. Like, you're meant to learn something from this, and I think it's, like, gonna be learning a new way of doing things. And so, like, right now, you're just like, allow for the emptiness, but the horseman is also here to remind you, like, when the horseman appears, he's inviting you to spread the good news. Everyone already knows the bad news. Your task is to point out the beautiful when others see only the ugly. Note the possible, no matter how implausible it may seem. Like, I think you're meant to acknowledge, like, did you see what I just did there? Like, talk about it. Tell people, like, "Oh my gosh, I've just went through this crazy transformation," and, like, celebrate it, even if you don't tell anybody about it. Celebrate it at least with yourself. And don't dwell on that past. Don't dwell on that negativity. Become a herald of the positive. Put away the fatalist attitude, the dire predictions, and the dreadful expectations about the world or about your life. Declare the arrival of a new and better you. Proclaim that you have risen from the realms of the dead, woken from a long, dreadful slumber, and you are back on the world stage to show the show is on again. That's interesting. I didn't read that message until just now, and that's interesting because we have the Phoenix, resurrection, surrender to change, and the Eagle King. And I believe they were saying that this is an eagle bone that they're talking about here. The big picture and angelic help. So the thing about these cards, though, is that they came to us in reverse. And it's funny that the message in the Horseman card was, um, I almost thought it was going to say you. It says, "Proclaim that you have risen from the realms of the dead." I thought it was gonna say realms of the ashes, but or risen from the ashes because of this phoenix card here. So let's see what the reverse meaning of the phoenix is. They're not always like the opposite of like so when the phoenix challenges you, it's really just a gentle reminder to let go and what doesn't work fall away. Maybe you're not allowing things to change because you're more comfortable with the familiar. Even if you know it's not even then you even if you know that it's not the best you could create for yourself. Fear of change is a crippling experience as it works against nature itself. The task at hand is to allow for an ending as it's timely and right that you do so for the highest good of all. In surrendering to the fundamental purpose of change, you will most definitely find yourself in better circumstances. The action needed is allowing. I think I even wrote that down. Allow for the emptiness. Allow for the emptiness before you start filling your well up again. A rebirth is assured. And then the Eagle King challenges you to see a higher purpose to the event. See, I was feeling like you're just not at that point where you're recognizing, oh, that's why I had to go through that. Now I understand. Now I get the lesson. The Eagle King challenges you to see a higher purpose to events. Not everything is meant to come to pass according to your specifications. If you can't see the forest for the trees, stand back for a while and let the Eagle King fly high on your behalf. Perhaps it's time to speak to someone who has an objectivity and an ability to see the bigger picture where you don't. Just remember that even when things don't go the way you expect, there's always a reason for the detour. I was also, when I was reading that, I was getting the message of um, go into meditation and ask your spirit guides, hey, can you show me like what this lesson was? Or can you help me integrate this obstacle or challenge or help me understand the lesson a little bit more? Help me understand why I had to go through this. So setting intentions this month to learn, to be open to new things and new ways of doing things, which is just the perfect intention to set for an Aquarius new moon, anyways. And allow for the emptiness. Be okay with the emptiness. Don't try to mask and just dump a bunch of stuff that you don't care about on top of it. Don't absorb this energy just so that you're like filling up your space. And just be okay with it. Allow, go within, be open to change, be open to new possibilities, be open to new ways of doing things. And I think your luck will, if you stop fighting it, stop trying to push the wheel and and speed up the cycle, I think like you'll find that things will come easier because you'll be more authentic. You'll be more yourself and congratulate yourself. Like it was really hard. No one is denying that what you went through was a lot. Nobody's denying it. So like appreciate it. Appreciate the lesson. Discover what the lesson is. And this is a wonderful new moon for you. A new fresh start. Don't go backwards, go forwards. All right, group two. If you would like a private reading, those are available at priestessofwonderland.com. There's all sorts of links down in the description box below of links to the moon planner, links to my website, links to readings, links to our Discord where you can come and hang out. So please check the description box for all of those things. Oh, and any of these tarot decks links will be down there too. So thank you so much. Happy new moon, and I'm so proud of you. Alrighty, group three. This is your reading for the new moon in Aquarius for 2024. We have the Eight of Pentacles, but she is in reverse. We also have the Page of Pentacles, also in reverse. We have the King of Cups upright, And the Seven of Wands also in reverse. So when I first pulled these two cards, the Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles in reverse, that to me is saying like either maybe you're not working, or you're procrastinating on something, you're not making any steps to like move forward with things. And I mean, normally I don't know, like it feels like this is okay. Like it's okay. Like you needed a break, you needed a pause, you needed to kind of like regroup and reevaluate things. And I was even kind of getting the message with the King of Cups here that you needed time to like mentally stabilize yourself, recalibrate, mental health. You were taking some mental health days or some mental time off, because you really needed to do some significant healing. I feel like although you haven't been productive or working slash procrastinating, that it's okay. Like you were taking care of your mental health and letting go and surrendering. But there is a point where you're going to have to pick yourself up and start moving again. But like give yourself time to grieve, to pause, to rest, but then get moving eventually. Our oracle cards are the Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic, the Horseman, Herald of Change, and Covenant, Sacred Contract. And I was feeling like I needed to read some of the messages from this deck here. When the Magician's Sword appears, you are called to cut the cords that bind you to old thought forms and beliefs, or to friends who are not true. With the power of the Magician's Swords, nothing can stop you, hurt you, or turn you away from the beauty you seek or the goal or you desire with all of your heart. Seven of Swords, or sorry, Seven of Wands reverse can also be about like not letting like Seven of Swords, wow, why do I keep saying that? Seven of Wands upright is about not letting other people get you down. And sometimes when I see it in reverse, I feel like it can mean like you've totally like severed ties with those people, like you're not letting those people bother you anymore. Um, but the Seven of Wands also can represent like surrendering, like just kind of giving up. Not in a like retreating sort of way or quitting sort of way, but just so like this is I'm not taking on this BS anymore. With the power of the Magician's Swords, nothing can stop you, hurt you, or turn you away from the beauty you seek or the goal that you desire with all of your heart. The sword is a tool, not a weapon, so make sure you wield it wisely for the greater good. Find the stuck places, and there's a lot of stuck energy with the reversed Eight of Pentacles and reversed Page of Pentacles. Find the stuck energy or find the stuck places where you kept tethered to a toxic person, location, or thought belief, and let the blade do its magic. I'm also feeling like if you've ever felt called to work with Archangel Michael, that those of you that chose this group might benefit from that as well, because he has the sword of truth and is able to assist with cutting those ties and cutting those cords. Use the magician's sword to cut through limiting beliefs and focus your intention in order to create what you wish. When the magician's sword appears, it's time to get moving. This is not a tool for contemplation, it's an instrument for calling decisive action. So, like when you're ready to get moving again, using the magician's sword is going to be very beneficial for you guys. Um, the horseman was actually all three of the groups had the first group had a different horseman from another deck, and groups 2 and 3 both had this card, the Horseman Herald of Change. When the horseman appears, he is inviting you to spread the good news. Everyone already knows the bad news. Your task is to point out the beautiful when others see only the ugly. Note the impossible, no matter how implausible it may seem. This does not mean becoming giddy or blindly optimistic, but rather reminding yourself that every storm cloud has a silver lining. Become a herald of positive change. I was also getting um, the message, make the commitment to yourself, celebrate where you are, and be the light and be the change that you want to see in the world. Maybe this mental health journey that you were taking time out for, maybe you were in this like negative dark place, but now like you've done that healing work and now you're ready to like bring the light back in. And the sacred contract is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, making a commitment to yourself that like, hey, I gave myself this time to heal, or I'm giving myself X amount of time to heal, and then I'm going to get moving again. Then I'm going to bring my light to the world. Then I'm going to wield my magic. But like, stick to that contract. Make some sort of commitment to yourself and to spirit that like, if I'm allowed this time to surrender and just like do nothing for a while, then I'll get moving and I'll be like going like 100%, all cylinders firing. So these last two cards were coming to us in reverse. I'll show them to you upright. The Diamond Dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity, and the Keeper of the Scales, fairness and balance. So the Diamond Dreamer challenges you to address your perception of the power of materialism. Do you focus on the material world above all else? Have you become hypnotized by the notion that it's the only reality? Have you grown too attached to stuff? Have you come to consider wealth only to be an accumulation of worldly goods? Now is the time to find value and wealth in the intangible spiritual experience. Before anything is Before anything is seen reflected in the manifest world, it originates in the unseen, the spiritual and the divine mind. Be careful what you wish to manifest, for you may not want to pay the price of keeping it once you get it. The Diamond Dreamer also reminds you that disappointment and disillusionment are sometimes the way home to the truth of what's best for you. He may be here to tell you that when you don't get what you want, it's being withheld from you because something better is in store. Ooh, I could actually see that, like the refusing to work and the refusing to learn and do something different is like this stubbornness that comes from like, well, my way's better. But what if like the way that you're being shown or the way that might be a little bit more difficult and challenging is the way with like better results and rewards at the end? Be compassionate with yourself and others at this time. Let the Diamond Dreamer lead you to the highest dreams for your perfect purpose of true prosperity. So with the King of Cups like back here, I feel like you are being very compassionate with yourself and you're allowing yourself to feel your feelings, but you know that you once you get to a certain point, you're gonna have to start moving forward. Like I don't know, I know I've said that like a bunch of times, but I feel like I can't say it enough or like I'm not saying it correctly for some people to be hearing it. Like don't wallow in the sticky emotions. Don't wallow in it. Let yourself feel it. Like everything, take everything with moderation, I guess. And then when this card comes out up in reverse, events are turning your life upside down. And that was interesting because these the most well, these three cards are upside down. And these cards are upside down. So events are turning your life upside down and you may be dizzy and confused. Are you feeling that life is unfair for you right now? Do you believe others are getting ahead and leaving you behind? Could your ego be throwing things off? Your pride and self centeredness may be weighing down the scales. Another message could pertain to the behavior of others throwing your life out of whack. Are you around drama that causes to become ungrounded or caught up in it? That I feel like the reverse seven wands kind of has that. Like you're not letting other people bring you down, but you might be like wrapped up in the drama of it all. The keeper of the scales says it's time to take a break, do whatever it is necessary to bring yourself back into balance, let go of all people, behaviors, or conditions that bring you into disharmony, and you will be very grateful for the balance is restored and you're off the roller coaster. That's like the whole theme of this. Like, let yourself come back into balance and then get moving again. Remember that what goes around comes around, justice will be served one way or another, and harmony will be restored. I do kind of see this as like the sword of justice too. I can't remember what Archangel Michael's sword is called now. Is it the sword of justice or sword of truth? I don't remember. So, group three, set your intentions around making a commitment to yourself to number one, celebrate where you are, but to just allow yourself to feel, to heal, to re-regulate, to find harmony and balance again, and then reignite that fire. Accept change. Like, don't be stubborn and accept that, like, we can come into new ways of being and it can actually benefit us better than our old usual ways. And that is, I mean, that's the theme for an Aquarius new moon or learning how to do things differently. This is a new year. We're new people, new versions of ourselves, and we want to do things differently. We don't want to do things the way that they were done before because we all know that wasn't benefiting everybody. And Aquarius cares about having everybody benefit, have the community benefit. Um, if you were feeling called to the second pile, I would maybe go check that one out because they had very similar messages. Honestly, all three groups kind of had similar messages of like finding new ways of doing things, but I think that's just the Aquarius new moon of it all. So so thank you group 3. If you are interested in a private reading, check out all the links in my description. You can find private readings on my website. Um priestessofwonderland.com. There's links to the Just a Phase Moon Planner. There's links to these beautiful tarot cards if you're interested in them. So check out the description, and I appreciate you so much. Happy new moon.